Hey, Dumelang Abshen. Welcome to yet another episode of Ehubyeni. My name is Dalton Vusmuzo Mashangane Mdaga, and I'm sitting here today with my big body, Moe. How's it, my brother?
What's happening?
You good, man?
Good, no, we're trying.
Yeah, man. Thank you for hosting us. Today we are here in your work factory. This is where miracles are happening.
For sure.
This is where things are taking place.
Obviously, man.
Man, before I talk a lot of things, man, introduce yourself. Who are you, man?
Mo, I'm doing a signage company. I've separated this business almost like 7 years ago. Everything started from the ground, basically.
Yeah.
So it's been a long journey to be where I am today.
Yeah, man.
It takes a while to be a man.
Yeah, I mean, your space kind of like it gives you a direction also. The kind of people that you meet, you know.
Obviously.
Yeah, it's also based on the fact that are you in the same business? Do you have the same interests? Are you in the same space of thinking? You know, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. Ever since I met you.
That's how we met through branding.
Yes,
I mean,
through branding. Yes.
You know, people meet in different type of businesses. Sometimes they meet through branding. It depends on how you meet. Life, you know, is full of surprises.
Yeah.
You might never know where it's going to take you.
Yeah. Ne?
You know what I mean?
And look where it took me. I've been trying though. It might not be impressive to other people, but to me, I mean, it just made a lot of changes in my life. I'm always busy, man. You know, I'm always up to something.
But now the branding side of your house is like a side hustle, isn't it?
Yes. It's not really a side hustle. You know, I don't like calling my initiative side hustles because I think those are the things that I'm supposed to be doing naturally.
Right.
You know, and then there's a 9 to 5, and then there's a big difference. I can't really be. You know, when we put the mescal in and I have like $1 million in my pocket and ask me what I would choose, obvious, you know the answer. I would prefer to be in that space than being in the 9 to 5.
Obviously, everyone, you know, when you are working 9 to 5, you are just earning a salary which is limited.
Yes.
But when you own a business, it's a different game.
It's a way different game.
Because when you own a business, everything is unlimited.
Yeah.
Some days you can make over what you are making during the period of 30 days. You can make it within a day.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't make it. But you need to get used to the business. But to start a business basically is not something that comes overnight.
Yeah.
And you have to be patient.
Yeah.
It takes a couple of years to build your business. Some people, they expect like, I'm going to open a business within a year, my business is going to make money. That's not how it works.
There's a term for investment, and then there's a term for actually just building the brand and making it.
There's a saying that whatever you do, be consistent.
Yeah, consistent.
Do the same thing over and over until you master it.
Yeah.
That's how you reach your target.
Yeah.
If you don't master what you do, I mean, a lot of people in a casino, they do quarters. If the person who's doing the quarter doesn't master the quarter, nobody's going to buy from him.
Exactly.
So every day, he must make sure he does the same recipe over and over and over again for people to get used to his recipe.
Man, before we dive deep into that thing, man, you know, you're diving deep into spaces.
I mean, it's all about business.
Yeah. Man, tell me, man, who are you? Where do you come from, and where were you born?
We started, I was born in a place called Sana'a. It's Far East. It's somewhere in Asia. I came to this country, I was 13 years old. I started in a place in the south in Johannesburg. I've stayed there, I was a student. I finished my matric at the age of 19. I couldn't afford to pay my university. So instead of going to university, I couldn't afford to go to university because my parents couldn't afford to take me to university. And nowadays in this country, to be in a university, it's very expensive.
Very expensive.
Okay, for us to be in university...
It's like a cancer treatment.
Obviously. So I've started working through my journey. I moved from Johannesburg to Kimberley.
Yeah.
That's where I started my journey. I've started selling in the streets, where it basically gives you an idea of how to build yourself.
Yeah.
You know, to be a businessman, in school they don't teach us how to be a businessman. School teachers, the education system was built in order for us to be a slave. When I mean slave, even the doctors, they're slave to their work. Even the engineers, they earn a salary, they work for a company.
Yeah.
But they will never teach you the secret of the business. That's where people must understand. If you want to be a businessman, I'm not saying don't go to school.
Yeah.
School, first thing you need to know the basic. What's the basic? You need to know how to read and write.
Yeah. But you really have to get to grade 12 to
No,
be...
it's a must. Grade 12 is a must. But after grade 12, you know, if at that certain point, if my family could afford to take me to a university, today I couldn't be where I am.
I mean, you think you'd be in a different space?
Obviously, I'm going to be in a different space where I'm going to earn a salary. I'm going to work 9 to 5.
But it depends, though. It depends, though, where you come from. Because, like Mo, let me give you a simple example.
Right.
Let's say your parents had afforded to take you to university,
Right.
and then you come back with a degree. I can tell you right now, there's a lot of young people, Ekasi, like where I come from. You know where I come from. You know?
Right.
There's a lot of young people with degrees, Ekasi.
Right.
You know, they have acquired their education, and yet they are not in the spaces of joy. You know, they're not comfortable financially. There's no financial freedom. There's no job. Firstly, you know, they are overqualified. They are unemployable. There's just so much happening around.
Let me
the
just
issue of
cut
education.
you off a bit, right?
Should. Sharp. Yeah. So my question was.
They finished school, they went to university, right?
Yes, and they have degrees and they don't
They
have
degrees
jobs.
and they still no jobs.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. How much did the parents spend for these kids to go to school? First thing first. How much school fees they spend?
It depends.
Okay, it was free. Secondly, how much money they spend on university?
It also depends. Some get funding, some get bursaries,
Majority.
and some are learning from their parents' pockets.
Okay, let's talk from the people who are learning from the pocket. Or let's talk from the people who the government is sponsoring them or the bursary or whatever.
Yeah.
If you give that person the bursary that is going to university, obviously the government is paying for him, right?
Yeah.
To teach our youth how to do business.
So you're saying
That's another topic.
our education system, I think it's clear.
When you give someone a bursary, he's going to go and study. Why don't you give some students or the youth a chance? Give them a bursary to learn skills, to learn to become
So you're saying TVET colleges are actually more relevant?
more relevant than university. Obviously, I mean, listen. In this country, we are lacking of electrician.
Yeah.
We are lacking penal beatings.
Yeah.
Most of the guys who does penal beating in this country are foreigners. Okay, why can't we teach our kids how to do penal beating? It's a skill. They need it. They need to learn. Like, imagine if your hands know a skill today. You don't need to work for anyone. You will do your own thing. Imagine if you are penal beating now, or if you are a mechanic, or if you are an electrician. People need you. You don't need to work for someone. That's a business on its own. You can open a small shop in your area and write Vusi Electrical.
But here's the biggest surprise.
What is the surprise?
Here's the biggest surprise. You see, all these jobs that you are referring to in this conversation right now are jobs that actually most people, where I come from, I don't want to generalize and then people start thinking I'm saying, you know, people have always looked down on those jobs. They've always looked down at a shoe repairer. They've always looked down at a mechanic. They've always looked down at a plumber. They've always looked down at anything that a builder, like a bricklayer, you know, like they've always looked down at that. They've always looked down at vegetable corners, selling in the street corners.
But that's the mentality of our youth. Our youth prefers to work in a mall, wear branded clothes, but his salary is less than what he's earning. I mean, let me put it this way. The guy who's selling tomato in the street is earning more than this guy. This guy's going to go work in the mall, he's going to earn 5,000 in a month. But the guy who sells in the street will sell 300 in a day and will earn 9,000 from that street.
Yeah.
Can you see the difference?
And it's tax-free.
Tax-free.
Yeah.
Why can't we empower our youth to do that?
The thing is, we're also using our platforms for all the wrong reasons.
Okay.
Like, honestly, let me tell you, all the opportunities that have ever been created, they were created to enrich and empower. So in the name. But when it comes to the actual program that leads people to even start believing in such ideas, there are no programs. People have not been orientated. People have not been workshopped to say, okay, here's freedom, here's democracy. What does it mean to have that? You know, we went like, okay, 94 say voter, Zeto, that's free, that's Jane, Zasha. And then we started doing everything overdose. We started doing everything over the board.
I mean, if I ask a question, like, you know, the main reason why our youth are spoiled is the government is spoiling them. They're not using, I don't want to be rude or I don't want to be difficult, What I'm saying is the government must use their resources in the right way to empower the youth. We don't have any single skill school in this country. Do we have? Like where a grade 10 or a grade 9 that can continue with his education. All of us are not clever. All of us, we don't have the same brains. There are some students who can't make it to grade 12 because their level is not so high. So when the person reaches grade 9, why can't we open a skills school to empower the kids to learn more about skills?
Yeah.
I mean, that will also help. I mean, you teaching someone how to do skills.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, he doesn't need your bursary. He doesn't need anything from you. Because you already teach him how to become a person.
Self-sufficient.
With his own hands.
Self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient with his own hands.
But then as citizens, me and you, now, we are in this space. We met through hustle, of course. We met through myself. I was also trying to raise and pick up my business
and to build the brand.
Yeah, and to build a brand. And thank you, man. You've been there. Eh?
From day one.
I think you sold me my first t-shirt making equipment.
I remember.
From your
my colleagues.
Your press iron to the vinyl cutter.
Right, to DTFs. And
You know. I bought my first vinyl with you, my brother. You know,
100%.
and the business has grown. However, it's not yet there yet. You know,
Yeah,
it's
but
not.
everything takes a time, as I said.
Yeah, of course. I don't have a problem with it.
I mean, Rome was not built within a day.
Yeah.
Johannesburg was not built within a day.
Yeah, but it's falling apart. Johannesburg is falling apart.
No, that's,
It looks like it was built in one day.
that's another topic. That's another topic.
How can you cannot make an example of Joburg, man. You know, when you make an example of Joburg, I will go and look at what are you talking about, and then I find that there's bombings happening there.
Yeah,
there's buildings burning around. I don't know, is it the infrastructure or people are deliberately destroying the country?
No. First thing, like now we go into politics. Now we're going out of the topic.
No, it's just an insight on the conversation. It's something that popped up.
That's going to be another day. It's going to be out of the topic, you know.
Sure, Moe, yeah.
Sure, bro. So yeah, basically, what I'm going to say is let's develop our kids to learn skills with their own hands.
Yeah.
Let's empower them. Let's not spoil them, because spoiling starts at home.
Over pampering.
Over pampering.
Yeah.
Kids, when they say I want expensive shoes, the parents there to offer them. They must learn the hard way.
And the parents walk around. We born in Indonesia. Ishai pampering.
I mean, lot of everything starts at home. Our parents must be strict to the kids. They must teach them how to be independent, how to be dependent on themselves. They must respect themselves. They must always earn the hard way, not the easier way. Mommy, I want money. Don't give them. Let them learn the hard way.
Bro, I'm raising teenagers.
Uh-huh.
It's a very big job, you know, because
How many you raising?
I'm raising 2 teenagers currently.
Boys.
Girls.
Girls are soft. They understand life. Not like the boys. The boys are difficult. Boys, you can't handle them.
You think so, bro?
Girls are soft. Girls, they listen to their parents.
My friend just got twins.
You see?
It's a boy and a girl.
That's good.
The cameraman.
The cameraman.
How does it feel to have twins, bro?
Congratulations.
You know that's more money out of your pocket. Which means that the business he also runs a business for weed killing, disinfectants, he works with chemicals, kills rats, mouse, cockroaches,
all the insects.
All insects, mamela. When he comes into your house, he can even kill your grass. Kill it completely. He's got a weed killer and all that. Yeah. So he runs that business as well.
That's his own business.
Yeah, that's his own business.
I mean, that's what we need to hear.
Yes, and the guy sitting across is also pushing in his wife is into catering.
Catering.
Yeah, so what happens is that catering, catering goes together with...
now, you raised the point now.
Yeah, catering goes together with infrastructure, which means a tent there must be there, chairs.
Remember, I want to mention, you mentioned some good point here. Most of our people, they go Most of our people, they go to catering, quotas, brands.
Is that not a tangible business, though? People are always hungry, man.
I mean, listen. Why can't we see the bigger picture? Let's talk about the founders for a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think of grocery, who comes to your mind? Pakistan's.
Yeah.
If you think of cell phones, who comes to your mind? Pakistan's. If you think of clothing, who comes to your mind? Ethiopians. So we need to change that mentality. Our people also must taste piece of the pie. I mean, but they can't. I mean, when you build a house, first you need to build a foundation from ground. So how are you gonna build them? From teenage, try to teach them how to sell things. You know, business is all about selling and buying.
Yeah.
Business is simple. It's not something hard. You don't need to go to school for it, but you need to be street smart. Like how you are, how we are. Like we're street smart.
We always put one and one together.
You can't tell me, listen, yeah, like I'll give you a soccer player leg.
Yeah.
And this guy, he was street smart to become a soccer player.
I get you.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, the doctor wasted almost 7 years to become a doctor, but this soccer player, it took him only a few years from the street to learn how to dribble a ball.
Yeah, it actually took him running away from responsibilities at home just to go and play on the street.
You
and
understand what I'm
then
saying?
he became a star from there. Yeah.
So it plays a role. Education sometimes doesn't pay off, but sometimes it pays to pay. It pays to pay.
It's a very tricky one, Nemo, because you really can't give a straightforward statement.
Obviously,
to say, does really education pay off in this
Education
country?
doesn't pay. I'll be honest with you, education.
Yeah.
If you want to, listen, you can never tell me in the history of any book that a person became a billionaire through education.
Yeah.
You can name it. Tell me all the billionaires in the world. Most of them, they don't have matric.
I just found out that Einstein was also not educated.
Bill Gates is the richest man in the world.
He's not educated.
He doesn't have matric.
Yeah. And currently, for the past 15, 10, 20 years.
I'll give you an example in this country. Our ex-president. Our former president. Our former president.
The role model of the many.
Our former president. Was he
Zoom.
did he finish school?
No, he didn't.
But you see the mentality.
But he had the education of life. He had the education of life.
That is the main important thing. Education of life. Life will teach you the way forward. You can never tell. You can mention any billionaire who finished university and became billionaire.
Swangs, what's your take? Do you think he's right?
Yes, it is.
Mina, so are you saying, you guys are saying that we must tell our kids not to go to school?
No, they must learn the basic.
Isn't it Zamba?
No, they must learn the. I'm not saying they must go to school. They must learn the basic.
Yeah.
Let them learn the basic, read and write. Then the rest, you teach them street hustle.
Yeah.
Streetwise, it pays.
And the street hustle of a cast. I know the street hustle of Davidson is cut.
No.
But the street hustle, they are hustling, these boys.
No, they hustle, but in the wrong way. We need to teach them skills, as I told you.
They need to taste clean money.
Clean money is always the way forward. I mean, business doesn't start overnight. You can't dream of it.
Yeah.
It just happens naturally. And you need to be consistent and do the same thing over and over, as I said it earlier.
Is that your take as well? That's why you're working overnight now. That's why you're disturbing the podcast now. You are busy working when we are busy here. Eh? You are hustling. The hustle continues.
We gotta push.
The hustle must continue.
We gotta push the hustle.
No, I get it. Definitely, man. Look, I personally feel that I was at the right place at the right time when I met you guys from the other office.
Right. You remember how we started? You were there from day one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I did my first 2 t-shirts,
I remember, yeah.
which were called t-shirts as blue,
Right,
which I just did embroidery.
Right.
And then I came back to do, was it t-shirts only? Oh, I came back and did paper bags. And then I came back and did paper bags.
Yeah.
I did paper bags in the space of not having the actual material, you know, to do a bottling.
Right.
Bottling. And then I came back with a gazebo. I came back with a gazebo with an intention to kind of like promote the brand. And then I came back again.
So tell me,
did the side for the car.
So tell me this: when you were starting your brand.
Yeah.
The first people like who was you are selling to.
Yeah.
Were they happy with the product you were giving them?
No, of course, these are some of them.
And
I
then,
think he was the first one to buy a t-shirt from me.
okay.
And then was the second.
So it means from the time you started your brand until now, how do you see the difference?
Yeah, the difference is there. What I've realized is that people go with time, you know.
Right.
When you start a brand, when you are at the beginning,
Right.
you know, you might get about 50 customers and then you start thinking, I've made it.
Right.
You know, when actually it's just the beginning. And then the sales will lower because most of the people that you know
Right.
have already bought the brand. You know?
Right.
So you don't have external customers now. But lucky enough, I work in the arts industry, I work in the art space, so
Right.
I would get proper support from various people, you know, I know I've got about 20 t-shirts somewhere in New York, you know, which was taken by some of the artists that came by to do a visit. And I've got a t-shirt from a guy whom I met through Stephen Fadden. Pick up Stephen Fadden. Stephen Fadden is one of those guys that attend, you know, he's into infrastructure and eventing. You know, so yeah, that's how basically I kind of like, you know, started building the brand to what it is now.
Right.
One might say it's not exactly where it should be, but yeah, the hustle continues. And I'm enjoying the fucking journey.
Shout out.
Yeah, I'm loving the whole journey, and your contributions are recognized. Governor, thank you for the support.
Obviously.
Hence today we are sitting here. Yeah, let's talk about the background, man.
I mean,
This is your work.
This is our work.
Yeah.
It came up, the idea was just a rough idea. You know, everybody has a dream as we grow, you know? So they said, we like the car, like, this is like a dream. So one day, this business, I don't own it myself. I've got a partner.
Yeah. No, I know. Since
We,
forever.
we go way back. Since the day we started this business, he was here. So yeah, basically this was just an idea. Maybe one day our dream will come true.
Yeah.
And one of
What is this thing? What is this thing?
This is a Bugatti.
A Bugatti.
That's $5 million car, man.
Yeah,
That's a $5
the
million
dream is
car.
very big. You know how I know the dream is very big?
No, listen.
Look at it, how big this thing is.
I mean,
this thing is very big, man.
I mean, everything starts small.
Yeah.
You know, every billionaire was once a child.
Yeah, of course. Of course. That's the next one.
Yeah.
Every billionaire was once a child.
So you start somewhere. Everyone, you know, you can't start just from the top. When a child is born today, I mean, you can't just walk same time.
Yeah.
You need to scroll. You need to stand up and fall. Then he walks. Then he starts running. Then he starts eating. So life is all about how patient you are. You will reach your target one day. I mean, KFC, the owner. I mean, let me give you an example. The owner of KFC, he only established KFC after the age of 60 years.
Yeah.
He never enjoyed the fruits, but he established it. His grandkids are enjoying now.
I know some actors as well who started very late and they became very famous. I don't know if it's Morgan Freeman or someone.
Right.
Yeah. They were not there in any film before they were the age they are at. I'm also an artist, I'm an actor, you know that.
Obviously, I mean, like, you know, everyone got his own passion, but
Yeah.
but sometimes in life, when you come to the hustle or when you come to the business, it's not what you were thinking when you were in school. A lot of students now, when you go to the school, you ask them, what you want to become when you grow up? Some of them, they'll tell you, I want to become a doctor. Some of them, they'll tell you, I want to become an engineer. But the reality, after you finish matric, some of them, they'll become hustlers. Some of them they're not working. The dream is already fading. Because a dream will always stay a dream if you don't fulfill it. I mean, if you don't push it. So basically, every teenager has his own dreams. Like, he's an actor, but he doesn't have the right people to push him, to put him on the main screen.
So you're agreeing with Zex Bantwini when he says everybody deserves a push. Everybody needs somebody to push them.
Obviously, I mean, without somebody you can't be. Or if you see all the billionaires or anyone who does acting, there's someone who pull him out of the dust and put him to the screen. Whether it's through connection, whether it's through knowing somebody, or maybe it depends on how. But to be on that main screen, I mean, it needs a lot of sacrifice, and it needs people to put you up there.
So social media, what do you use your social media channels for?
No, basically my social media I use for business purposes, and sometimes I use for pleasure. Like, you know, sometimes when you overwork, like now we work in night shifts, you need to relax your brain. Sometimes you need to laugh. You
need to bring the world into your working space.
Like the people must know what you do. Like when they see Moe on TikTok, like Mo does a lot of things. Like everybody knows Mo does branding, designing. And then social media nowadays, people are using it in the wrong way. But I mean, it's like, that's another topic. Let's keep it for another day. Social media story, it's another
I did
topic
a post.
on its own.
I did a post. I would want us to talk about it.
Social media can be dangerous
Social media can be beneficial.
and it can be beneficial.
I just want to
It
share
can be
something.
dangerous to the teenagers and it can be beneficial to the people who does business. So
Young Chambi said, I don't have Wi-Fi here.
that's another topic for another day.
Is he visiting these friends, stingy friends of yours now? Like I can't access this. I posted something about, it was about support, basically.
Okay.
How people will always look for mistakes instead of giving advice on how you can go forward. And also how people would be there's double standards in terms of support.
I've noticed one thing is that nobody will correct you if you don't correct yourself.
So you need a self-correction.
Self-correction. When they say discipline is the main key. So discipline is part of correcting yourself. If you have discipline, you know what's wrong, what is right, because you're disciplined. I mean, imagine you wake up in the morning, you stay on your own, and you don't do your bed. You don't have a discipline. Who do you expect to do your bed for? I mean, nobody.
And you end up living in a pigsty.
I mean, come on, discipline starts at home. I mean, look at most of the Chinese people, Chinese kids, Japanese kids. Do you see how behaved and disciplined they are? Have you noticed?
No, they're well behaved. That's why they don't consume nonsense even on TikTok, even on any social media platform. When they go to that platform, they're using it for educational purposes. And now we are busy posting jokes and now somebody died and people
Let's
say,
learn from other people. I mean, that's the main important thing. I mean, if I look at the world today, Chinese kids are well disciplined.
yeah. Chinese kids are actually the best. Hence they're busy brewing fake alcohol.
And that's another topic, like, you know. But remember, if I tell you 20 years ago, all of us, we never used to wear Chinese bread. We used to say China, China.
Fong Kong. Ma Fong Kong.
But let me tell you a secret about that Hong Kong. They were consistent. And today, if you look at your clothes, 90% of it made in China. Even the iPhone you are holding is manufactured and assembled in China. Reason number one, labor is cheap. Things are cheap. Everything is cheap. Material is cheap. That's why even iPhone, they can never manufacture and assemble in America. They got a factory in China where they assemble. Labor-wise, it's cheap. You understand what I'm saying? So China is the most, that's for another day. China it's a powerful.
It's a very powerful country, which is currently standing over our
But
heads.
we're going to talk about that topic another day. China is going to be one of the biggest countries in the world.
So, Mo, you get to school, matric, no money for school. No money for school, you move to the other side of the country.
Yeah.
Start hustling, selling clothes on the streets.
I build, let me tell you, I started selling knickknacks and belts in the streets. Then after selling, I was 19. When I was 20, I made almost like something like up to like where I can afford to buy a car. I bought my first Golf when I was 20.
Yeah. Put it closer.
So yeah, when I was 12, I bought my first Golf.
Yeah, correct. You can talk. Anything I want to say, please.
Yeah.
You can continue talking.
So after I bought my car, you know, sometimes when you work, you're hard earning money, you know the value of it. Like, not everybody knows. But when your parents gives you the money, it's another thing. But when you work hard for it, you know how to discipline yourself.
When you go mama.
But when it's your hard work, hard money, like it's your earning, like you worked hard for it. If your friend asks you for 20, I get it's only. Because you work hard for it. So sometimes, like, you know, I was talking about hard earning money.
Yeah.
Like when you earn your own money, you know the hustle you went and the sacrifice you went through it. You can never give your money so easy to another person because you know the value of it.
Yeah.
Most of the people, they don't value money because their parents are spoiling them. I mean, most of the kids, when they're young and in school, they're wearing brains. But when they grow up, they can't afford to wear brains. And they get used to that mentality, they still want to wear brains. But that's not the end of the world to wear a brain. As an adult now, you're not wearing a brain.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a simple person.
You know, not you're a simple person, you know the value of money.
Yeah.
You know the value. You don't want to waste Cavella 1.5. I mean, you're making so much noise and it doesn't make you look nice. If you wear anything, like if you go to Mr. Price and dress up nicely, you still look alright. I mean, most of our mentality is what we wear. What we wear doesn't say anything. Let's get back to the point. Most of the rich people, they don't wear big brains. If you got them, they're wearing maybe 200 t-shirts, 100 trousers. But they're billionaires. I mean, you don't need to impress people, man. Your money, it belongs to your family. So self-discipline is the main important thing to teach our youth.
Self-discipline.
Self-discipline is the main important thing. Without self-discipline, no one is going forward.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
It's tough, very tough.
It's tough, man. But anyway, man, like I'm enjoying this conversation. This is not the last one. This is not the last one. This is just the beginning of things.
Right,
because
right.
there's a lot that I want to talk about.
No problem.
I want to talk about creating platforms for people as well, because we have the opportunity.
Okay,
to create
you said to create platforms for people. It's the same thing we get back to like skills.
Yeah.
You create platforms for students to come in. But now the buzzers we are using in the wrong direction. But that's going to be another topic.
Yeah. For another day.
For another day.
For another
Another
day.
day, obviously.
So this young man, in conclusion, this young man is born, he starts hustling, and then he meets this business partner, and then, when are you coming to my show, cousin? I don't lie to you. You know me, Mus, and you know me and stressing and fitting and complaining and time and...
You know, like this podcast, I mean, let's be honest, is empowering the youth.
Yeah.
And even themselves, most of the students or most of the youth, they can start doing something like this to earn a living.
Yeah.
This is a skill. You don't need to go to school to learn these things.
Yeah.
You just need the brains to come and do what you need to do. But now the problem is how to start.
Yeah.
Number
The first step.
Number one, our kids, they don't know how to save. They spend more than what they earn. You'll see some youth, they get paid today by Monday, I believe.
Yeah, that's a cast vaccine. But I'm 25 to 3. I'm 25. I'm already broke. Man, look, I was looking to talk about that post that I made. Yeah.
Right.
But it's fine. It's fine.
You need,
it's fine. We can check it some other time.
no problem. But
And
we've
also
got a lot of
engage
topics
some
to
more.
talk about. But lastly, what I want to say is that let's empower our youth to learn skills.
Skills.
Let's
Skills.
empower
Skills.
our kids, our youth to do skills. Because skills, you will never be hungry. When I say you'll never be hungry, skills is your hands.
So brains.
Nobody can take away from you what you know with your hands. Whether it's mechanic, whether it's baking, whether it's engineer, whether it's electrical, nobody can take your skills away from you. You die with it to your grave. What you know is what you know. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Togi.
God bless.
Yeah.